perfect, but the opportunities for time saves were extremely limited. Super Punch-Out had finally gotten the run it deserved. And that's where this video would end. That's where the story would end. But it doesn't. Look, I don't switch to first-person narration often, but I don't really have words to adequately describe what happened next. Because 8 days after Mr. Mega set this record, Fat Potato Seal did one of the craziest things I've ever seen. On screen is the running total of the odds of the run Fat Potato Seal was on. He entered the first major luck barrier in the game, Bob Charlie, and ended up getting a 6. A perfect fight with no dodges or blocks. He then fought Dragon Chan, and once again got perfect luck with the low heal. Masked Muscle also gave the best luck possible. He had gotten perfect luck through the first half of the game. He moved to the second half. On Mad Clown, he got a 9-second fight, the best possible luck. On Macho, he got the KO at 10 seconds, the best possible luck. On Narcissus, he got a 9-second KO. Technically a high 8 is possible, but a low 9 is essentially the best possible luck. On Hoi, he got an 8-second TKO, the best possible luck. Then it was time for Rick, and his random uppercut in Phase 3. And yes, he got the best possible luck. I've been making these videos for 5 years, and this run, I genuinely don't remember seeing anything like this in any other game. Other than half a second from Narcissus, on every single fight with significant RNG swing, he had just gotten perfect luck with his strategies. Not good luck, not great luck, perfect luck. Fat Potato Seal was on a 2:27 pace into Nick Bruiser. Just imagine the pressure in a situation like this, knowing this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Your hands start to go numb. You feel your heart beating in your throat. Basic tasks become nearly impossible. And landing counters on Nick Bruiser is anything but a basic task. But he might never see this pace again in his life.
Nick Bruiser. Fight! Piece of cake. Right on.
It's hard to expect anyone to have actually pulled it off at the end of this run. Even Fat Potato Seal, one of the best players in the world. This situation he was in was unprecedented, and might not be seen again for months, years, or even longer. But still, it's a heartbreaking feeling. It just goes to show, even when Super Punch-Out does give you the luck, it can still punch you right in the face. Over the years, we've seen all sorts of world records. Ones that seemed like they had no chance, ones that were on monster paces, and everything in between. This run's history isn't over yet, and this timeline isn't yet complete. We're just living in a moment of Super Punch-Out's history, and there's still plenty of history left to go. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing and sharing the video with a couple friends. It goes a long way to help. Thanks. Four seconds. So now, in order to get an optimal level 1, You had to land a frame-perfect whip to get the stopwatch, use the stopwatch frame perfectly to get an optimal bat spawn, and land a frame-perfect critical hit on the bat boss. Each of those had a 60th of a second window to time them. Getting all that was super difficult. Because of all these tricks, level 1 got the reputation of being like a jail, since very few runs were able to escape it. Regardless, it took K-Mac just 4 days to be able to beat Double Armory's record with the level 1 tricks.
Barely beat it.
It was a close call though, because he lost a lot of time in the Dracula fight from missing critical hits and getting a 4-second fight. K-Mac would lower it to an 1141 pretty quickly, with a run that actually didn't feature the stopwatch trick in level 1, but had essentially everything else. A fast bat pattern, a fast mummy pattern, cave skip, the boosts, and the new 1-crit 3-cycle Dracula fight. That 1141 was enough to satisfy him for a while. He was back on top, and he was on top by a large margin. Months passed, and when 2016 came around, K-Mac's 1141 was still the world record. But in October 2016, someone did beat him, Baze86. He took down the video for his record a while ago, and it can no longer be seen today. The final time was reportedly in 1139, a 2-second improvement over K-Mac, but not much is known about the run itself today. But we do know that this time, K-Mac waited exactly 20 days before getting the record back. It's almost like he wasn't allowed to not have the world record. The way he saved time this time was by skipping picking up the meat in level 6. Runners normally turned around here to pick up the pork chop hidden in the wall, which replenishes your health. But since K-Mac was only planning to do 1 crit against Dracula instead of 2, he didn't need the extra health to get hit a second time. So he saved a few seconds by not having to bother turning around to pick it up. And again, K-Mac's record remained on top for several months. But just as before, another runner eventually beat him, Jonte. In April 2017, he was able to get a run past the level 1 jail with the stopwatch trick, and was 3.5 seconds ahead of the record. He lost some time in level 3 to a slower mummy fight, but was still about 1.5 seconds ahead of K-Mac going into the last level. He nailed the crit on Dracula for a 3-cycle fight, and prepared to fight Cookie Monster. He'd messed up a couple of his holy water throws, and didn't grab the orb until it fell. After retiming it, it was determined that he had beaten K-Mac by about 1/20th of a second. Once again, K-Mac had been dethroned. But of course, 3 weeks later, the record would be his once more. Only this time, it wasn't even close. K-Mac beat Jonte's run by 5 seconds. Rather than one big improvement, it was because of several small improvements over the course of the run. K-Mac got a slightly faster bat swoop than Jonte by manipulating its pattern by standing in specific locations on the stairs. In level 2, he hung onto the stopwatch from level 1 in order to freeze time at the start of stage 6. This prevented the spikes from moving so he didn't have to hesitate like Jonte did. He got a fast bone boost in level 5. These skeletons can give either a fast or a slow boost pattern, with about 1/2 second time difference between them. Jonte got the slow pattern while K-Mac got the fast one. And of course, no run is complete without the Dracula fight at the end, which K-Mac was able to get a 3-cycle on. His Cookie Monster fight wasn't perfect, but it didn't really have to be at the end of a run that far ahead of the record. Castlevania was getting to the point now where improvements were going to be extremely tough to come by. As the run approached the sub-1130 barrier, players could no longer expect to beat the record by 5 seconds. An improvement by a fraction of a second would be a big deal. K-Mac decided to retire from Castlevania speedrunning after his 1132, and left the game in the hands of others to take the record down further.